Hey, hun, why do you make sure to pick up your gardening tools when you're done?
I don't know. Why do you make sure you pick up your gardening tools when you're done?
Because if a plant steps on it, you'll end up with a black-eyed pea.
Hi and welcome to Suburban Life Permaculture. We're so glad you could join us today. I'm Holly, and today we're going to talk about some of the hazards you may find in your food forest garden. So not only we're going to talk about some hazards, but we're going to talk about ways that you can mitigate them. Some of them we actually use, and we're in zone 9, but you may find some of these in your zone as well. So the first thing we're going to talk about is bites. The ones we get most often would be fire ants and mosquitoes, but there are a bunch of others. There are other kinds of ants, there's spiders, there's snakes. So whatever you might run across most, that's what you're going to think about. For us, a lot of it is just being careful and aware of your surroundings and what's there. Snakes, I try to make a lot of noise, shake things, wear gloves. With mosquitoes, we try to make sure that anything with standing water is dumped fairly often. Now we do have a bucket of water that has where we're trying to grow cuttings and we're trying to root them, so they have to be in the water. So in that case, since we're keeping that around for more than just a couple of days, we use something called mosquito dunks. If you've got another brand of something that works for you, yay, let us know in the comments below. I'm always open to learn new things. With fire ants, we use something called orange oil. And one thing you want to make sure that you do, and there are different recipes out there, but you don't want to use it full strength and you don't want to use it on yourself. Unless the packaging says you can, but we do not at all. We make sure we have a recipe that dilutes it because this is very concentrated. And then we just spray it where we want to get rid of the ants. We've sprayed our compost pile before. We've sprayed different parts of the ground where they've just invaded. For the most part, if they leave me alone, I leave them alone. I don't actually go out and try to harm any creature, but fire ants are particularly not so much fun, and they are plentiful in the south. In fact, the whole southeast, if you're in the southeast, you all know exactly what I'm talking about. They get us, and they get us good. So when I see a whole bunch of them, I don't mind a bite now and again, but when I see a whole bunch of them, we try to spray the area so that they're not attacking me and I can actually get some work done. Another thing we do is we use some old jars and we punch holes in the lid. This one we can't use anymore because the lid's rusted on, but you'll make and there's a lot of recipes out there, but you'll make a borax and sugar mixture, and it's more of a paste, so you add just enough water to make a paste, and then you just set it out and you let the ants come, get it, bring it to their friends, and that's a good way to control them over a long period of time. The orange oil is really to take care of a bunch of them that may be swarming a place that you need to get to. And you can't because they're attacking you, little boogers. So the next category of hazards in the garden would be the sun. And in Florida, we see a lot of it. Maybe it's nicer for you. I would love that for you. But for us in Zone 9, at least in Florida, and recently with all the extreme heat, probably of the whole eastern seaboard, you might be well familiar with this. So for the sun, you want to make sure you have plenty of sunscreen, work in the shade when you can, and we have sun hats, and you've seen me wear these several times, so you know I wear these a lot. And then I also use these cooling towels, and I just have them in a little container with tap cold water. That's all you need. And I usually wear it around my neck. I wear two. I'll wear one on my shoulders and one on my neck, and then periodically I just wipe my face off with it, and it cools me down so much. I cannot recommend these higher. The only downside is that everything gets wet. So my whole shirt gets wet, sometimes my pants get wet just from the dripping, even if I wring it out. So, but I would not go out in the heat without them. They're just that wonderful when I'm out working. Another thing that we have used are those sun protection shirts. I would recommend probably a light colored one. So another part of the sun, which we mentioned just briefly earlier, is this horrible heat that we have going on. So besides the hat helping you, keeping you in the shade, working in the shade, you want to make sure you take breaks often. And another thing you want to do is stay hydrated. Now, one thing that we like to do is make something called switchel. It's also known as haymaker's punch. There's a lot of recipes out there. Look for my short that has a recipe for switchel. And even though I tell you my recipe, you can make any kind. I just prefer using our cranberry hibiscus tea because I know where that's being grown in our front and backyard. So another category would be just some general safety tips, especially with tools. Yeah, it's probably going away now, but I actually pinched myself on my hand right here using my pruning snips. Thank goodness it was just a pinch because I've actually cut myself before. I've used this, and you can see I leave this on it for safety, but when I use this, I try to always wear my gloves because I have cut myself seriously with it. It's very, very sharp. So I use some really, really good gloves. These are nice leather gloves. I wear them as often as I can when I'm using my tools. These are very sharp, so you want to make sure you keep the safety on when you're not using it, and keep your fingers out of the way. And if you're like me, sometimes you still do, but that's why you wear your gloves. Some other general items that you might want to keep around, these are back braces, which you can just use. It's like for lifting weights when you are older, like myself, or if you're doing a lot of digging, you want to protect your back, so this might be something you might be interested in. So remember, just like my husband said, put those tools away so you're not hurting yourself. Another thing that you want to be mindful of is when you're digging. If you know you're going to be digging a lot, not just transplanting a plant, make sure you call your local authority, utility companies, so that they can mark the area around your home so you know where those water lines are, where the electric lines are, and any other cables or important things that you don't want to dig through. Now just keep in mind, even though you might have everything marked, it may not mark anything. And we speak from experience because my husband accidentally broke through our sprinkler system and water. It was a nice little fountain. It was really pretty for a little bit, but it costs a lot of money to fix. So be mindful, dig slow, dig carefully, and make sure it's all marked before you start digging. So what kind of hazards do you face in your food forest garden? Let us know in the comments below. Also let us know your zone, because while the southeast has fire ants, and you're probably saying, oh, I don't know what a fire ant is, but I do know what this is. Let us know your zone and what kind of hazard that you face in your garden. And I don't care if you like, subscribe, or share. You do you. Carpe diem, y'all.